Hello and welcome to Doll My Shop. Today we're going to be making these wonderful Ken doll pajamas. Let's get started! I start by cutting out each of the pieces. These are already pre-cut out because I've been trying to make a lot of different Ken doll clothes for markets that are coming up. So that's why these are already pre-cut. The next thing you're going to do is pin each of the places you're going to sew. This is what it should look like when you're finished sewing. The next thing we're going to do is make the casing for the elastic that goes into the pants. First thing you got to do is open up your pants like so, and split the middle, and fold it in half. The shirt piece we'll worry about here in a minute. Pull down the casing to be 1/4 of an inch wide, so the 1/8 of an inch elastic can slip through. Next, pin the pants bottoms. Fold it down to 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. Now we're going to take the machine and sew everything into place. Now we're going to put the elastic into the pants. Most people use a safety pin to get their elastic through things, but I just use a very large-eyed needle with a dull tip so that it can just squeeze its way through the casing of the Ken doll pajama pants. There we go. Now that we got the elastic all the way through, all you're going to do is make sure it's a little bit gathered. It should look like this when you're finished gathering it. And then pin it in place so it won't de-spring, so to speak, which means undo what you just did. So fold it in half like this and pin it in place so that we can take the machine and sew along the edge line here. There we go, everything is sewn in place. Now the elastic will stay put. Now it's time to split the pants and create the legs. I'm going to show you one more time how I did that to make sure that you know for certain how it works. You split it in half and make sure the middle of the crotch meets together, the two middles. The back one and the front one. They meet together like this. And you pin it all together, and you take the machine and sew along the bottom. And then it will create legs for the pants. There we go, everything's pinned in place. Now we're going to take the machine and sew along the bottom. Here's what it looks like completely sewn and turned right side out. Now that we're finished with the pants, it's back onto the shirt. The first step is to open up the pieces you sewed together. Then we're going to take the arm pieces and place them into these curved lines on the outside right here. I'll show you what that looks like here in a minute. Here's what they both look like completely pinned. Now that we're done pinning everything together, we're going to take the machine and sew along the edges here. Here's what it should look like when you're finished sewing the arms to the bodice. Now it's time to pin the neckline and the arms to hem them. But first we're going to pin the arms first and then get those sewed on the machine. Here's what it should look like when it's fully pinned. Now to the machine to sew the edges. Now that we're finished hemming the arms, it's time to do the neckline I was talking about. Here's what it should look like when it's fully pinned. Now we're going to take the machine and sew along the edge here. Here's what it should look like when you're finished sewing the neckline together. Now that we're finished sewing the neckline and the arm pieces and hemming the arms, we're going to take the bottom part of the shirt and connect it to the top part, like this. Then we're going to pin everything together and sew it on the machine. Here's what it looks like all pinned together. Time to sew everything together. Here's what it should look like when you're finished sewing. Now it's time to sew the bottom of the shirt. Open it up and fold down the edge. It's 1/8 of an inch of a seam allowance. We're going to pin everything together and then use the sewing machine to sew across the bottom. Here's what it looks like once the bottom is sewed. Time for the Velcro. Take your shirt and turn it around. Make sure your Velcro piece is the same size as your garment. Cut off any excess. Now that we got the right size Velcro, we're going to take the machine and sew around it. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!